Hello everyone! Today we're going to be talking about how to make your Roanoke flipbook. So, first things first, things you're going to need to have. Grab out, you need this Roanoke, the Lost Colony, the video viewing guide. Now this was in the packet where it says grade 8 American history. The next page was also the syllabus. The next page was the map, lists of the United States, and then it was the viewing guide here. And then there's 2 pages to it. Normally it's front and back, but just how we wanted it in here, there's 2 pages to it. So you're going to want to have watched the whole video because you'll need this information. The next thing is you'll need this little half piece of paper that says Roanoke Rubric. Now all of these papers you either picked up if you were in person on the first few days of class, or it was in your textbook that we sent home with you. All of those materials were. And then the last one was this weird looking piece of paper that we have cuts in, and you're like, why did they give that to me? Well, now you're going to find out. There is one other thing that you're going to want to have, and I'm going to send this out digitally just so you can keep referring back to it. But on here, you'll need to have what the Roanoke flipbook needs to look like. So your flipbook, the title page, and what that means by the title page. So I'm going to look at the rubric here. So I've kind of got like the rubric in front of me, and then these pages, I'm going to set the viewing guide aside because you'll need that when you actually get going on this. But it says your title page needs to have your name, the 3 titles, needs to be neat, and it needs to have color. What are those 3 title pages? They're these right here. So we need to have Roanoke, the first year, 1587, Governor White leaves, 3 years, and then White comes back, 1590. Can you change what the font looks like or how that looks? Of course, but we are looking that all 3 of these flaps are pretty much corner to corner color. The inside top, so now this is when you open these up, it's this information on these here. And on those, you need to have your descriptions for 1, 2, and 3, so they'll match what's on the front, that first flap. 1, 2, 3 needs to be neat, needs to have color. So on here, then the top, when you open it, there needs to be a description, what did it look like, and there needs to be at least 2 to 3 sentences. There's always a few students that go ahead, turn this in, and it has like 4 words. You're not going to earn nearly all the points because you did not finish the assignment. The next one, so Roanoke, the first year, 1587, you're writing the description, what did it look like? Governor White leaves, 3 years. The description here is, what do you think happened to the colonists? Again, 2 to 3 sentences. Now this, the what did it look like, you're going to get that from the Roanoke Lost Colony, and that should be pretty factual. Because they do talk about it, you will see that in the video. That is pretty factual. This second one, what do you think happened to the colonists, is going to be up to you. There's a number of theories that happen. So you need to decide what you think happened and write that in 2 to 3 sentences. Can you have a 4th or 5th sentence? Of course you can. Can you sum it up in 1 sentence and be like, I don't care? No, you can't, because that's not going to be enough. We want to see what your ideas are. And then the last one, so the front flap, it says White comes back, 1590. So the description that's on the inside flap is, what did Governor White see? And again, 2 to 3 sentences. So when he came back, this is somewhat factual, again, to the video from what they said and again what they saw. So that one's a little factual. The middle one is the one that, yes, base it on facts, but you need to put which one you think it most relates to. So then where it says picture here, that picture part is going to go on the very bottom part. So we've got title page, we've got description that matches the title, and then a picture that matches with each of those descriptions. On the inside bottom, we are looking for each of those pictures. It does need to be colored, does need to be neat, and it does need to relate to the description. That's where you're getting all of your points from. Make sure you also put your name on this at some point so we know that this is your rubric. Make sure your name appears somewhere on your flip book. If you wanted to put it on the back, that's fine, but it needs to be somewhere there. Now, you're probably like, okay, Miss Moradic, I get this, but it would be nice to have a visual. So this is one that I've had from years prior. Who knows? It could have even been a family member. We'll see. I'm going to try not to show the names, but this is an example of one. Do I want yours to look exactly like theirs? Please do not. In fact, if any of us teachers see ones that look exactly like this, we're going to be like, great job for copying. Not. No credit for copiers. This is creative. Make it your own. So they've got the first year. They've got Governor White leaves. They've got Governor White comes back. They've got colors. They've got it's neat, it's tidy. So the inside top, I'm going to purposely cover some of this because I want your information. But the first year when they got there was, okay, and that matches with the first year. Governor White left for 3 years because and that matches with Governor White leaves. Then the last one, when he arrived, that matches with this front one, okay? Now all of these pictures, they've then matched down at the bottom. You can have separate pictures. If you want, you can make it one giant picture on the bottom, and that sometimes looks really cool too. So this is one great example, full credit, full points. Now you might be like, "Oh, Miss Moronic, that's a little extra, that's a little over the top." Well, I'm asking you to give it your best. I'm not the best drawer in the world. I'm still working on stick figures, but you can give it your best ideas. So here was another one. Again, they've got the first year, Governor White leaves, 3 years. He comes back, 1590. All of these descriptions match with the top, and then there's a picture that goes with all of them. So you're like, but still, that one was a pretty good one, Miss Moronic. I don't know if I can quite handle that, if that's quite what I'm going to be able to have. Here's one. Okay, this one does look very nice. This one did earn all the credit. Now, are they the ones that are the number one most artistic, whichever, whatever? You know what? They gave it a good try. They made full color. It's neat, it's tidy, and they gave good effort. All of their parts match up and notice color, and all of their pictures, they gave it a good effort. That is what I care about more than anything. That is what, if you have Mrs. Owens or you have Mr. Hepp, that is what they care for more than anything else, is that you gave this your best efforts. Here was another one, how they wrote it on the front, right? They gave it a good effort. They have everything. This one is missing a little bit, though. This one might not be quite 100%. Other ones that I have, usually in class, I go through and kind of just show a bunch of them. But usually I show them at a really quick rate so that it's like, ooh, you can't quite see it all. This was one, kind of went a little thematic across it. They made like each of the flaps. So these are each a different flap, but they like put the picture across the top. It looks wonderful. It was a great idea that they had. I'm looking for some people but the big thing is they've also got color on the back whenever they do any of these. Here was one more simple. You know, they went more for the colors than they did necessarily the rest of it, but then they've got their pictures that match. They didn't have color up here, so probably not all the credit, but they do have their pictures. And look at that, stick figures. Those stick figures look pretty darn awesome. There's one, though, that I really want to show. Guess it was farther down in my stack. Oh, this one, I do have to say, though, guys, when one comes in that's just super, super well done, you're just, oh, this one will work. So they kind of made it look like it was one main scene. You can do that. That's fine. Oh, this one, just when people give it their best effort, it's what makes me so happy, because I ask that you give it your effort, not that you're the number one best artist in the world. I think, let's see, I'll find one more. Here was one. It was a little more simplistic on the front, but it does get the point across. They went for cursive. Everything did match as far as wording, and then they went a little more on the coloring on the bottom, but it looks nice. They didn't have the color on the inside, but they do have most of the things, and it does look really nice overall. Sometimes just be careful. Sometimes people, they go like this and then it bleeds through. Be careful of how it goes, because then it's kind of hard to read, and like the inside would give them full credit, but the front side is kind of missing color because it's only like bled through. So there's lots of different options that you have. Make it look really nice. Let your teacher know if you do have any questions, but I hope to be adding to my stash of Flipbooks so I have even more examples in the years to come. Like, it makes my heart happy looking back at these, because one, I remember you as a student, and then number two, it's like, look at how great this work was. So let your teacher know if you have any questions. This rubric is where you need to have everything. This is just a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper folded in half and then cut it so that it's about 3 equal parts. So if yours ripped, you can make a new one. And if you needed it again, here was, it should be posted to your Google Classroom, but if it's not, you can pause the video here. This is the title page and what needs to be on those first flaps, and then when you open it, what needs to be on the top of the inside flap and the bottom of the inside flap. Let your teacher know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you should do some really great things and have a great day, guys. Bye.